Hello everyone and welcome back. So I've been away for a while because I've been traveling. I'm up in the new place. I'm setting up. So I do apologize if there's a little bit of echo. It's the soundproofing is just getting installed pretty much in a few hours, but I want to get going. There's loads of video ideas that I've got coming up for 40K, and we're going to talk about a few things. So Creative Assembly did an interview with GameStar, a German publication, and their article is paywalled. Absolutely amazing. That's literally what you want to see when you're announcing a new title. Thankfully, however, the Total War community knows that this stuff is very important information, and Western Sammy on the Total War Reddit posted up a bunch of details going on to the galaxy map, campaign layer, and the planets. And what I want to do here is I want to read over each of the sections and talk about it, because while I am pretty hyped up, I'm also a little bit confused about some things that they want to do. So yeah, let's jump right in with galaxy map. So Galaxy Map details. The Galaxy Map functions as a hybrid between a campaign selection menu and meta progression. You don't actually move armies or end turns here. Instead, you're given an overview of the galaxy at large and offered several campaigns to take part in. So essentially what this sounds to me is kind of like how Darktide does it. I'm not sure, I think Helldivers does it too. So essentially your campaign menu will be a hub, the Galaxy Map will be your hub, and you'll pick a mission and that will send you there. Obviously, for a campaign situation, it's a bit different, but it's more or less what it sounds like, which honestly could work out quite well. It goes into further details here because those campaigns are split into three types. Full campaigns, short campaigns, and singular decisive battles. Full campaigns will be the closest to traditional Total War. Now, I just find it weird when they say closest. I'd rather if it's a Total War campaign. So these are set in a full star system meant to be longer and finished over multiple sessions. Okay, yeah, that's what, like Immortal Empire style maps or something? Or is it going to be very much more similar to that or the Realms of Chaos? Because the Realm of Chaos map size can be finished in one campaign. Short campaigns will feature only a few planets and be intended to be completed in a single evening. So that to me sounds more Realm of Chaos-y, Call of the Beastmen, Realm of the Wood Elves 1, 2, but I can't remember what the other one was called. To be fair, it wasn't really a good campaign too. Right, so let's continue there, right? And then finally we have singular battles are self-explanatory, so it's a choose-your-own-commitment type system. Alright, so with the whole thing with singular battles, I guess it's just going to be like historical battles. This is something that we know that happens in Warhammer 40K, same thing as Warhammer Fantasy and Old World and the rest. There's scenarios, they're likely just going to input scenarios from the current edition. I mean, it's something that we have already. Well, we haven't had that in Total War Warhammer, but we've had it in historical games, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. So let's continue there. Campaigns can either be generated or narrative. So there will be campaigns set in handcrafted systems, locations from the lore, with narrative objectives and factions, and also campaigns that are more randomized. My big question is, what's this going to be? Are we just going to have a bunch of narrative campaigns and then just randomly generated planets? It's really weird considering how, well, let's put it this way, Games Workshop is incredibly anal about their lore. Are they going to want CA to make random planets up? Or is there just going to be a bunch of planets all over the place that are already predetermined? That stuff is always really good to know, especially since Games Workshop is now going to be increasing the narrative with the new 500 world system that's coming out for 40K. Well, at least we can hope. Let's continue. Completing campaigns carries over effects and changes to the galaxy layer and potentially future campaigns. The example they gave was helping the Imperial Guard in one campaign leads to allied Imperial Guard forces showing up to support you throughout your battles in your next campaign. This sounds really odd. Like, I'm looking from it from a perspective of Total War, right? When you start up a fresh new campaign, it's a fresh new campaign. This sounds like it's going to be one of these only online games, which I'm not too keen about, because it's going to have to track your system. It's going to have to track everything, and I imagine that the galaxy layer is going to be affected by players across the board. And you see here, it's unclear how management will be done in this layer, but the article does seem to hint that you'll manage the systems you've taken in campaigns. So are we just going to get more and more types of bonuses and stuff? Right? It just sounds odd, doesn't it? Because you'd want to start off a fresh campaign with a fresh campaign setting, no extra bonuses. That's what Total War has always been like. You fire up Immortal Empires, you start a Karl Franz campaign for the 95th time, and it's back to square one. That's what made Total War so enjoyable. It was always back to square one. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, and obviously we're going to have to wait and see how this actually works, but it does sound very, very distant to normal Total War stuff. Just the idea of God just randomly showing up as my allies. Alright, let's talk about the campaign layer now. The campaign layer sounds like it would function like a traditional Total War campaign. You have armies, fleets, resources, infrastructure to manage, and you move them around the map. So I'm assuming by fleets, that does mean that we're going to get some sort of fleet battles. There has been like a lot of rumors and talk and stuff and speculation about that belonging to a different IP, but it's actually an umbrella thing. Like, it is a full umbrella thing. It very much depends. Remember, and I think a lot of people are forgetting this, Creative Assembly were going to do naval battles for Warhammer Fantasy. You can still find the icons in the game files. The only reason why Creative Assembly didn't do naval battles is it would have been very difficult to actually do for Warhammer 3. One, I mean, naval battles have always been atrocious for Total War, especially on Warscape. We don't know how it's going to be on Warcore. But two, yeah, I played Man of War, the tabletop game. That was like the separate franchise, and it was really unbalanced. It was just awful. Let's continue. Campaigns will feature multiple planets in single system sectors. Planets will be different biomes and states of war. Some may have ongoing battles, be hive planets, etc. So this is another thing that we don't really know too much about. Ongoing battles. Are we just going to land in and there's already going to be two factions fighting? I mean, it would be really cool if we finally got multi-faction battles, though. It's something really that Total War has needed. And I mean, you can do that with multiplayer, but they haven't really explored too much on that for single player, which would be great. So let's continue. Planets will be separated by space, seemingly connected by lanes. If the gameplay preview is anything to go by, yeah, we've seen the images there, and which will be traversed by your fleets, similar to the role that C played in previous Total Wars. I mean, it's going to be very straightforward, right? It's just going to be multiple links and that's it. You're not going to be able to escape and go backwards or sidewards and stuff. That's my assumption. You never know, but I imagine it's going to be to keep everything quite coherent, very much in similar of Empire at War. Upgrading fleets and fighting space battles was mentioned, but those details aren't being revealed yet. Okay, so they are going to be in the game. Now this makes me wonder if they're going to wait for DLC, or if they're going to do it with race packs or something, right? We're going to have to wait and see. I'd say that this needs to be up day one, especially if you've got 4 factions. I mean, the guards are the guard, right? It's like they've got access to the Imperial Navy. Same thing with like we know about Space Marine fleets quite a lot. Orc fleets, not so much, barring the duct tape situations. But yeah, you know, like this stuff is really important. I mean, this sounds interesting. The same thing. The campaign layer sounds odd if it's going to be mixed up with the other stuff. But yeah, okay, let's talk about this. Planets. Each planet will function like a mini Total War campaign map. Continents are stated to be around the size of provinces in current Total War. Armies move around here like a normal Total War map, where you move them around on a board essentially. So planets will be... This is very inconsistent. Is the planet one thing, or is there going to be planets... Once you land in a planet, then there's like 4 different areas to control, like the provinces? Which I guess makes sense. And I know some people are probably furiously typing as like, well, it's clearly this. But remember, CA are being very inconsistent here with these interviews. And this is something that happens a lot with their interviews, where information is just scattered across the board. So nothing actually makes sense. Right. So instead of building cities, you're mostly regulated to building outposts and bases. Cities will still play a part, however. They will be more like independent entities that you can occupy and then manage from there instead of building and upgrading yourself. So not like a Total War game. This kind of sounds more like Soulstorm, the Soulstorm building section. For Dawn of War Soulstorm, you would take over a control, like a province and stuff, and you'd have some buildings being built up, but that's pretty much all you did. That's how I'm kind of understanding it. The thing is, the next section here is like constructing buildings and recruiting units in them was still mentioned. So it seems like it'll be similar to current city management, just more horizontal rather than vertical. So again, not a lot of context there. And I think this is a problem when a game gets announced and like half a second of gameplay gets shown. It would be good to know, right? Then the last bit here is your fleets can interact with planets by doing orbital bombardments, exterminatus, etc. I mean, that's kind of expected. There's a lot of stuff that we could see there, especially like deep striking and just a lot of support that you get. They were there were quite a few stratagems back in 8th, if I can remember. 8th or 9th. But most of them have been like coming and going. It's a weird thing. Games Workshop are very inconsistent with their rules. So my understanding here is this is going to be very similar to Helldivers mixed with Dawn of War, Soulstorm mixed with Total War. That's kind of what I'm getting here. It's a bit odd, honestly. Again, we won't find out anything until the future or until they start doing drops. And I imagine that's not going to happen until maybe end of January, start of February, depending if anything else goes wrong. It's just odd. It's very, very odd. So far, what I'm hearing is interesting, but it doesn't sound like a Total War to me. I need to see proper gameplay. It's understandable that they're trying to make it big. I'm just hoping that it's not always going to have to be online. It's just awful, and again, I will state this again, it's pretty awful that one of their choices for providing a lot of information is under a paywall. That's just outright disgusting. I think people are very invested into this setting, especially long-standing Total War players who are kind of worried, myself included. So this information should be out there in the open. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. We're going to have to wait and see. There's going to be more interviews popping up for sure, and loads of articles. They're going to be pushing this as much as possible. I'm going to wait. I'm not holding my breath. Remember, no pre-orders when they go live. As always, when it comes to Total War games, wait until you see reviews. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Start a bit of discussion. I do apologize that things are just like all over the place. I have a bunch of videos I need to record, but I need to put up the soundproofing first. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Hopefully tomorrow. I've got like 17 videos I want to do. It's just, yeah, I've got no gas right now. So yeah, there's no heating here. It's not fun. See ya.